Johann are a Spanish couple. Johann has been a chiropractor for
30 years.
30 years. And Sharon graduated from McTimity now 4 years ago?
In 2010.
2010, yeah.
2010,
yeah.
10 years ago.
Yeah. So if we could start this story maybe with Johann, if that's all right, Sharon. When did you move to Spain?
I moved to Spain in October 1989, about 8 days after I graduated. It was in January 1991. I opened up my own practice in the village of Alfastelpi, and that practice, we've been in that village now for 30 years come next year. Mm-hmm. So I care, but when it comes to timelines in my life, I said this was 91, 95, my father became very, very ill. And I decided to do everything I could to help him. But whatever I did, I couldn't control his illness. So I became a little bit obsessed. I did chiropractic, acupuncture. I studied acupuncture, went to Sri Lanka. I worked in the hospital in Colombo in Sri Lanka with acupuncture. Then I studied naturopathy. Everything to be able to somehow heal my father, and it became an obsession. And of course, unfortunately, he died. And I knew he was going to die. Even on the day he died, I said, I came home and said, Sharon, my father's going to die. He died a couple of hours later. But that obsession drove me into such a mechanistic way of thinking, of fixing every person. And of course, you can't. Mm. You can't, because it's not just only limitation on matter, it's also the will of the person and many other factors. But I worked on that. And then that brought us, Sharon and I was working together. She studied traditional Chinese medicine, to tell you about that. We come up to 2004. My father died 1995. I get more and more frustrated. In 2004, I said, I really don't like what I'm doing. This with chiropractic, what I'm doing, everything. I can't fix people. It's just a major disappointment every time I go in and I fail. So it's like, you work with a person and I fail because I didn't heal them. In 2004, I got a phone call from a man called Mauricio Sandino. It's a chiropractor in Valencia, close to Valencia. And he said, we've got a seminar coming up in Olivanova, which is looking for a reason what I can do in life and what can I do. And we were actually sitting in on for 5-6 years doing spiritual circles. So I was also developing at this time as a medium. And I knew I had a message, and I knew I was waiting for that message. And I thought, this is coming any moment. I know I'm going to get a message. And I didn't know that first or second day I was in the seminar in Olivanova, this chiropractor said to me, do I adjust you? And I said, well, yeah, I've been adjusted for a long time. I mean, let's have a look. And I have been adjusted for years at the time. And he said, okay, lie down here. We're going to check you. And he's going to adjust me. And he was adjusting with his eyes closed. It was Dr. Peter Amlinger. So I adjusted with his eyes closed. And he's actually going to do an A to P move on me. And then he opens my eyes to look at me like this short distance straight. And I says, you know what you're doing. I was, what? He closed his eyes, adjusted me, and that was it. And then I went around my head, you know what you're doing, you know what you're doing, you know what you're doing. And suddenly it's like my whole world just exploded. It's like, I know what I'm doing. I don't want to stop chiropractic. I want to work with chiropractic. And this is what I want to do. I want to do this type of chiropractic. This is what I want. I want to tell people a story. I want to just set them free, and they can take the decisions. But it's not up to me to heal them. It's me to actually open up the channels and just set that energy free. And that was such impactful. So I said, we're not selling now. I went back to practice the same Sunday after finish, tore down my pain posters, threw out my jacket, got rid of the acupuncture, said to Sharon, you work with acupuncture. I'm not going to touch needles the rest of my life with patients, which I haven't done to this day. It's like 16 years ago. Oh, that's it. There's a new thing. And I'm not going to be in a closed room. I'm going to have an open room. So I put up a note saying to my patients, from this day on, I'm not going to do this, that, and the other. I'm on a new voyage in life. I hope you'll come along. And I thought, Sharon, if we lose all our patients, so be it, but I can't work what I'm doing. And it went okay, the transition. Only 2 people. No, they were terrible. Even a couple of people that were horrible, they changed. Because I changed, they changed. And one that was one of the most difficult patients, she's still comes in and gets adjusted. And she's changed the person. She changed as a person from when I changed.
And so you worked for a while, and then you decided that you needed to have a break. So you decided you needed to have a sabbatical.
Yeah, so this was 2004.
How did that come about?
Yeah, 2004. Well, it comes to another things in life. We had, as you know, we had a colleague who passed away in cancer. Um, 2012. 2012. She was a chiropractor. She was only 36 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, what the hell is this? Because I had a good practice going, and Sharon had actually studied chiropractic. It's also a practice. I thought, this is it. There's something else. Yes, I will get working with chiropractic, but what else do I have inside me? What other songs do I have inside me to do? And so I'm working now, and I'm dedicating to practice my life. But is there anything else I like to do? And I thought, well, I like to go and a little bit of travel. And then when I started to do a little bit of travel, I realized that I want to write a book. And I wrote a book for the simple reason. I started writing a book, and writing, it's not flowing. And then I got a phone call from another friend who says, how are you doing? And I said, you're fine. You remember our other friend who passed away? She passed away this summer, and we talked about we want to do something with her life. I said, yes. And says, well, I am. He said, oh, you are? That's fantastic. It's not the way I wanted. So why is that? Because I'm in a cancer clinic in Germany. What? You're in a cancer clinic in Germany? But you're the same age as her. You're only early 30s. I said, yep. I went, damn, this is so weird. Well, I missed the opportunity to help her and be at her side. So I thought, right, Sharon, I'm not going back to practice. I'm going to Germany to see my friend. Went to Germany to see my friend and stay with him for a week. But as soon as the airplane took off from the tarmac in Alicante, I started writing my book. I started writing my book. It's called Philosophy on the Road.
Shameful plug. That. Yeah.
And started writing the book. I wrote about, in the 5 first days, wrote about 75-80% of the book. The story just developed itself. It's a journey from road skills to life skills. And it's about this guy who meets an old guy. It's a young man who meets an old guy, and he actually shares his life. And of course, the old guy, who's the sage in the story, his name is D.D. Amlinger. So people who know D.D. Palmer and probably heard of Peter Amlinger, it's a little bit of amalgamation of that. And the different stories behind this. There's a chiropractic book, also motorcycle riding, and it's a philosophy book. So it's how you go through different stages in your life, and what you forget to do, stop and smell the flowers, and being present in the moment. So it was my time to actually slow down my life and just see what's important in my life, where am I going, and so forth. Since I had a perfect partner. So I did that for about 7-8 months, finished that, and then I was offered by another friend, come and help him start up a practice in Germany for his brother-in-law. I was there a couple of months, and I came back to Spain. Since then, I've been working in Benidorm. Over to you, Sharon.
Yes. So Sharon, I mean, your history as well. You started in alternative health, and you met Johann, and you worked as well in the practice. And then one day you decided it was your turn to become a chiropractor. Was it a simple one-day decision, or were you forced, or was it in a matter of crisis that you made that decision?
Not at all. After the first meeting we went to in Olivanova, which was, for me, it was more philosophy based than anything else. It was all philosophy. I really, really enjoyed that. And we started going to all the seminars that we could. Olivanova, we went down to Gibraltar, met Sigafus, back to Olivanova again, met Reggie Gold. And I was finding in this chiropractic community that I was involved with the philosophy that I was looking for with traditional Chinese medicine, that I still believe exists in traditional Chinese medicine, but the therapists who practice it don't have that philosophy, that community feel about him. And I had tried connecting with others, and there was just no chance. So I found this community within the chiropractic community based on the philosophy. And it was really Reggie Gold that started me off.
Yeah.
I was asking him lots of questions. He said to me, so where do you practice? And I said, I'm not the chiropractor. And he said, why not? Yeah. And I thought, why not? And that happened the next day with him as well. And then that got me thinking. And that was in, I think it was September time. And then September 2004. And then in November or December, there was an AQ meeting with Terrasoli and Lou Coletto. God, we're so privileged. We're so privileged. We really
Yeah,
were.
we have some, well, there's great
Oh.
chiropractors, great stories.
Really incredible. And so we listened to Lou tell the story about the two chiropractors, one that broke his back, and he did Gonstead on him in the hospital down in Argentina, or down the road going towards Argentina. And the guy, one of the guys in that story was in the audience, and they hadn't met since that time.
Wow.
And whoever wants to know that story just has to listen to Lou tell or find the guys. It's an amazing story. And then with Cerascoli as well, talking, and he was just channeling the whole time, channeling. And that's the side that really made me get the bug for chiropractic, was the philosophy. Totally that. And when I came back from that meeting, we were driving back in the car back from Madrid, and I just said, I'm going to become a chiropractor. I've decided. But I started school in January, and I was there for 5 years.
Yeah.
And
well, there you were living in the UK and flying out to London, to England.
Yeah, I was living in Spain, and McTimoney does two types of degrees. They're both the same degree at the end of the day, but they do two ways of studying. One I say is a Monday to Friday way, and the other way is a Friday to Monday way. And so, but at the end of the day, the material is exactly the same, and the qualifications are exactly the same. And yeah, that's how I did it. And in 2009, I finished clinic in record time. I got all my news done and all my normal visits done very, very quickly. And by July, I was finished. Did my exit exam in September. And because in Spain there was no regulations, I started working in September.
How does it feel when you talk about that memory?
Well, I have some really good memories because we hooked up. There was Jyoti Fenschelder, was my wife. Jyoti and Anita, who now lives in Valencia, and we got on. We were the three musketeers there. We just did everything together. We shared the same guest house together. We studied in the weekends together, and we had such a good time. We really had good laughs. Me coming from Spain, Anita coming from London, and Jyoti coming from Holland, and the different nationalities, different cultures coming together. We had such a laugh together. And so they're the memories I have more than the bad.
Now, being a chiropractic couple, just going through this COVID moment, what's on the cards now? Like, what's the feeling you have about the future of working as chiropractors, and what's your future looking like?
Yeah, it's just strange times. I mean, in all honesty, I wake up and I think it's a dream almost every morning. It's like waking up, oh, right, I'm ready, and go like, Mom, things have changed. What we're doing right now, because we share one practice. We had another story. We had two practices before up till 2015. 17 was it? Yeah. Oh, wow, 17. And now we work from one practice. So right now, quality of life is very good because we've been taking turns and adjusting. She does one shift, I do another shift, and so forth. So midweek I can go out with a group of guys, go up in the mountains and eat tapas and come back. And Sharon's got the garden, etc. But now with these changes that's happened, we've pulled it together. So what they ask us to do, for the health before people come into practice, and the phase 0, etc., they have to have the hand gel and so forth. So now the one that's not adjusting is actually at the practice outside the door, because we can only be X amount of people inside the adjusting area. We've gone down from 5 tables down to 2 to keep the 2-meter distance between the tables. So now spending a lot of time outside, the chiropractor's not adjusting that day and talking to people. And it's the first time they're so surprised. First, they didn't want to talk to us because we always been in, out. So how are you doing today? Fine, this and that and the other. Good. See you next week. And that's it. And they talk to our assistant, Melba. But now they're talking to us, and it's creating a different type of ambience in their practice, which is interesting. And we feel good being the three of us together. We're staying 3 in the team because Melba has been with us now for 10 and a half years. And it's good to be the 3 of us there. At the end of the day, we're just decompressing after, because there's a lot of emotions around right now with people, and the unknown right now is the difficult for most people. So we give
and we're building up relationships with the patients really well. And Johann had a really, really good idea that we were all fully against him for, is that because we want everybody's, yes, and the patients, of course, we want the patients to get their nervous systems back into as they were before we all went into lockdown. And because of the people being on their own, lockdown, just the 2 people, 1 person, no human contact, we've had quite a few cases like that. Then we've been offering pay 1 adjustment, get the next one on us.
Mm-hmm.
You get another one. So people are coming that used to come once a month are now coming at least twice a week.
Great.
Until we finish the May, and then their nervous systems are back into working again properly. The flight and flight is disappearing, and stress and relax and digest is coming back, and then they'll go back to their normal
Well, this could
routines.
be, like we say, the new normal. You know, you're helping them and they will help you. And,
Yes,
you know,
exactly.
that's what you're willing to give, and you're asking if they can give to you too. You never know what that will be, but some way that will come back. That's
exactly. And all the health workers are receiving care for free. So all that existing health care patients are getting it for free right now during the state of alarm.
Right.
And they're bringing in their friends as well to get it while they're in a state of alarm, because they are so stressed. We've seen how stressed they are, the ambulance drivers, the nurses, the Guardia Civil, and you can feel, as chiropractors, you can feel the tension in their bodies just when you go to adjust them. It's incredible. And so we're just trying to do our bit back to them. While we're getting started, we're trying to see how the situation is. And the fact that we're 3 of us, we're working at the same time together, it's a bit like, as my dad describes it, a bit like doing the war effort in the Second World War. It feels a bit like that, you know, you're supporting each other, and we're decompressing at the end of the day together. We're only working in the mornings, we're not working in the afternoons yet. And until the state of alarm ends, we're not changing that. And then after that, then we'll see.
Okay.
Because again, the new norm is it could be that we just like working in the mornings only.
Why not?
It's quite nice.
Yes. So guys, I'm going to wrap up here now, but I mean, I'm sure that everybody listening would agree with me in saying that you guys have your story. You've always trusted the innate. You've always trusted the universe, and whatever happens now, it's going to look after you anyway, you know? Yeah. So you're definitely, as always, on the right path, whether we think it or not. No?
Exactly.
Thank you so much for your time and energy, and good luck.
Thank you for calling us.